This wasn't a battle. There was no heroic last stand, no final message etched onto a shield. Rome's mighty legion simply marched east, and then it vanished. Thousands of highly trained, perfectly equipped soldiers marching under the eagle standard of Rome. They didn't retreat. They didn't surrender. They just ceased to exist. No bodies were ever found. No survivors stumbled back to tell the tale. No clear answer ever emerged. For the Roman Empire, this was far worse than a simple defeat. A defeat you can understand. You can learn from it, avenge it, but a disappearance? That's a void. And voids terrified an empire built on order. At its absolute peak, Rome believed it could control anything. Its legions carved order out of chaos. Roman roads replaced untamed wilderness. Roman law followed the eagle standard wherever it flew. Gaul had been conquered. Greece had submitted. The great rival Carthage had been utterly erased from the map. But beyond the fringes of the empire, there were still places with no roads, no cities, no tribute to be paid. To the Roman mind, these weren't just unconquered provinces. They were blank spots on the map, terrifying voids. So, when reports of both unrest and opportunity trickled in from beyond the eastern frontier, Rome did what it always did. It sent a legion, sent its finest to impose certainty and bring back victory. The legion marched out with the usual Roman confidence. These were hardened veterans, tested by years of war. Their supplies were calculated down to the last day. Their commanders expected resistance, a familiar enemy to crush. But as they pushed deeper and deeper into the unknown, something felt wrong. The villages grew scarce, then disappeared entirely. The roads they relied on dissolved into dirt tracks, and then into nothing. Scouts rode out for days and returned with nothing to report. No enemy armies massing for a fight, no great cities to besiege, just endless empty distance. Supplies began to stretch thin. Messages back to the capital took longer and longer to arrive. Then, weeks of silence turned into months. At first, Rome wasn't concerned. Legions often operated incommunicado on the frontiers, but silence has a weight, a pressure that builds over time. And this particular silence was growing heavier with each passing day. Eventually, Rome sent new orders to the legion. There was no reply. They dispatched envoys to find them. The envoys never returned. This legion hadn't been defeated in a grand battle. It had been swallowed whole. Rumors began to spread like wildfire across the empire. Had they been ambushed and completely annihilated? Had the legion mutinied, the soldiers scattering to the winds? Or had they crossed into some cursed land, a place Rome refused to even name on its maps? Fragments of stories surfaced over the years. A Roman-style sword found hundreds of miles from any known Roman road. Local tales of shields with strange markings seen deep in foreign territory. Whispers of bearded men in a distant kingdom who spoke a strange form of Latin but wore no Roman colors. Each new rumor only made the truth more unsettling because none of them ended with Rome in control. Roman historians tried to make sense of the loss. Some wrote of a total catastrophic ambush, so swift and complete that not a single soul survived to tell the tale. Others hinted at a collapse from within hunger, eroding discipline. Men abandoning the chain of command, men abandoning the eagle, and fleeing into the wilderness. Then, there were the theories Rome never officially recorded. The idea that some soldiers had survived, but not as Romans. They were captured, absorbed, and simply forgotten. Living out their lives as subjects of a foreign king, beyond the reach and memory of the empire, Rome could accept death, could build monuments to the fallen, but could not accept was erasure. An empire, after all, survives on its memory, on its history. So, Rome never officially announced what had happened. There was no monument to the lost legion, no mass funeral, no public day of mourning. The legion's number was quietly struck from the official rolls. Maps were redrawn, the borders were hardened, and that entire region was avoided. Officially, nothing had gone wrong. But unofficially, something fundamental had been shattered. Rome had finally encountered a place where its overwhelming power meant nothing, where its rigid order dissolved into chaos, where even its history, its very memory, could be erased. Rome didn't lose this legion to an enemy it could name. It lost it to uncertainty, to distance, to isolation. It lost it in the moment its grip on control slipped and never, ever returned. Empires believe that everything can be conquered, mapped, and remembered. The story of the Vanished Legion is a chilling reminder that they are wrong. Some places don't defeat you, they simply absorb you. And once you are gone, there is no grand ending, there is only silence. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, be sure to follow 4 more tales from the forgotten corners of history.